Welcome to Adventures in Reach, where I give you the knowledge, skills, and equipment to go and adventure on your own. So let's get into it. I'm going to talk about how to daisy chain, webbing, and rope, and then a couple other alternatives and how to untie them as well. So this is kind of what I think of as the classic. So this daisy chain where you have this loop up top, you can clip that to your climbing harness, and anywhere in the middle either works fine. I prefer this a lot for the smaller lengths here because they're not dragging on the ground. The longer lengths, of course, that would be a bit unwieldy, but again, you can clip anywhere else. So this one, I'm going to show you how I do this if you like this loop on the top. So you find the ends, go to the other side, so you're at the bite here at the end. What I do is I make a ribbon shape, so just like that. And then I poke the bite through that center of the ribbon. And then I want to pull that bite that I just poked through and the loop that I started with, pull them tight. So you're essentially tightening down an overhand knot around this bite. And then I'm just going to take and poke through the bite each time. And so I will basically have my fingers here and my thumb ready to receive the webbing, and then I poke. So I come up, I just kind of use my pointer finger, poke that webbing through, pull it, and you can kind of shake it down. Once this gets longer, gravity will certainly help. And the other thing I find myself doing, poke through, and then I pull down on this whole bunch once I'm done with that. Once you get to the end here, you can pass the tails through, pull it tight, and now this thing is good to go. So another piece here, we can do this, and let me show you so kind of what happens. You'll be undoing these things and you'll end up in the spot where it's stuck, and so all right, my camera just stopped there. So we'll pick back up here. So you'll get to this spot where it locks on you and you pull it through and it will just keep locking on you. So what you want to do is really try to trace the next loop that you're trying to untie. So the next one is this one right here. And if you pull that up and you get that isolated, then you can kind of just work yourself back so that you can get this line out of the way. Okay, so that webbing's out of the way. Just pause, inspect it. Okay, when I pull this, it's going to pop through, and then you're going to be back in business. So just take your time and look for that next chain or loop that you need to undo. Okay, so this is the other way to start the daisy chain, is you take and just tie an overhand at the end. So now you have your loop to start with, and then start going through. I try to keep the strands aligned when I'm pushing this webbing through. Now, something else to keep in mind is that some people like to have really small little loops here and really take up a lot of material or length here in a short amount of time or short distance. However, some people I've seen do big, messy loops, and I don't like this. It seems kind of unwieldy and messy. I don't like the look of it. It just takes up more space. But I just kind of do it in a relaxed way. I don't make it super tiny. Just get my fingers through, pull it, have enough space to just get my fingers through, and it works out really well. Now, if you do it this way, kind of relax, just, whatever the medium size is, then it's going to pertain exactly to one of my recent videos where you can hold this webbing up now, this chain up against a tree or a rock, and be able to tell if this is going to match the diameter for tying a perfect 3-wrap 2-pole anchor. So you'll want to check that out after this video. Okay, here's another option. So you can certainly, if you don't like daisy chains, you can find your ends, then find your center. You can double it up, quadruple it up, whatever, and then you just tie an overhand knot. So I don't like this as much, and generally just do it when I'm in a rush because it really kind of crimps all the webbing up and folds it. I like my webbing to be kind of sitting flat, and so if I'm in a rush, like it's starting to rain, then I might do this, throw it in the pack, get home, undo these, dry it out, and then go back to using a daisy chain for storage. Okay, so you can also, for sure, if you don't like doing this with ropes where it's that classic, you know, you do your waterfall, so end over a loop on each side, and then at the end you kind of go around, you start low, end high, you pass the bite from both strands over, and then pull down, so you basically did a girth hitch up top. If you don't like that, and you want to just remember one thing, then you can certainly do a daisy chain with any rope or cordage. And so here I have it where I have the 4 strands, and then again, start however you want. I'm just going to do the second way I showed you, and then same deal, pop it through, there you go. I kind of go back and forth with these two things, and sometimes with that overhand knot with cordage, it really just depends what I feel like doing that day. So those are the few ways that you can do daisy chains, how to untie them. Hopefully that helps. Please comment below which way you prefer and if there's another way that you do instead of any of these. Also, I'd go back and watch that 3-wrap 2-pull anchor video because that's the next step on how to use these. And if you haven't already, please like the video. It helps a ton with the YouTube algorithm. And I hadn't pointed this out yet, but I have a new space that I'm filming in. So this will be really helpful for being able to post more often since it can be raining and I can still be making content. So we'll see you in the next one, and get out there adventuring.
There's always an adventure in your reach. Help make it happen by watching one of these videos next.